Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, I am hearing you.
Okay. So Sana, should we start?
Yes, sir, you can start, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Gaurav, we can start.
Okay. Okay. So we are here for SAP Simple Logistics, which is also called as SAP S/4HANA Enterprise Management. So this we will talk about this in detail. Like this product is no more called as SAP Simple Logistics. This has been renamed, or maybe we can say this was never a product. So in SAP S/4HANA, this has been renamed as SAP S/4HANA Enterprise Management. So which includes all different modules, not only finance, but all the different modules like MM, SD, and all. They are now available as part of SAP S/4HANA as a product. And this is enterprise management is the complete business suite which includes all these modules. We'll talk about this in detail. So just wanted to give you an overview that uh, although we are calling this training as a simple logistics training, but there is nothing called as simple logistics in terms of SAP, because this was the name which was given when this product was under development. But once this product was launched in November last year, they renamed this product as SAP S/4HANA Enterprise Management. So this is the agenda for our demo. So I'll just introduce myself first, and then we have some PowerPoint presentation, a small PowerPoint presentation, which will help you in understanding how the training will be delivered. And then you can definitely ask me the questions related to the course content or anything related to what we will discuss in demo. And after that, if you have any questions related to administration, like what will be the fees, what will be the timings, durations, and all, when the batch will be starting, all these questions you can directly ask the coordinators. So after this demo, you can directly get in touch with them and you can ask that question. So I'm not expecting that questions in this session. So you can always ask me the questions related to the course, what will be covered, what will not be covered, and all these things we can discuss during the demo. So let me introduce myself. My name is Gaurav and I'm working with SAP from last 10 years now. And over this 10 years, I'm working with currently I'm working as a solution architect, so it is not only one module. It is like I'm responsible for giving the customer the entire landscape plus the overall business processes, like how each and every process is going to be interacting with each other. So my basic background, I started my career as a SAP FICO, and then I was also involved in MM, SD, PP, PS, because all of these integrations. Plus, from last 3 years, I'm working as a solution architect. And regarding this SAP S/4HANA, this is as soon as it came into market, or even when it was getting developed, I got the interest into this field, and I've gone through multiple documentations which were available, and at the same time, whenever the trainings were available, I have been with the part of these trainings. And regarding these trainings, we are conducting these trainings from last 2 months now into SAP Simple Logistics, and as you know, this product is also not very old, so it is only in November last year that SAP has came up with simplified logistics. Okay, so this is about me. Now let's go to the PowerPoint presentation. So these are the list of demo topics that we will see today. So before we understand what is simple logistics or what is SAP S/4HANA, it is very important to understand why HANA and why SAP S/4HANA. The first thing, like, okay, SAP has come up with SAP HANA and SAP has came up with SAP S/4HANA and then Enterprise Edition, all these things. But what is the basic reason why SAP is developing all these softwares? Why there is a continuous demand for all these products in the market? The reason is obviously the current ERP that you are using. So let's say you are using ECC 6.0, EHP 7, which is the latest EHP which is available in the market. So let's say you are using that EHP, and now what are the issues or what are the challenges which are faced by most of the organizations when they are using this particular uh, SAP ERP version. Now, as everybody knows, SAP is a global leader in terms of the processes, in terms of the best practices. But there are some things, there are some small things which are like, which are not available in SAP ERP as of now. So when we say the process wise, best practices wise, SAP is a very beautiful product in terms of the demand in the market and the processes that it serves. But when we talk about some small things like the user interface, for example, so everybody knows in order to train the new user into SAP GUI screen is not going to be the simple task. It is not an easy task, right? Because the screen which SAP GUI provides, it is very complicated. Okay, you will not get much of flexibility, and at the same time, whenever, let's say, if a new user joins the company, you need a lot of time to train him, and at the same time there are huge chances of errors that he'll make when he'll do the transaction for first time, right? So this is one of the thing which is the user interface. It is not a very good user interface that SAP is providing in terms of ERP. Second thing, every company, whenever you go to any company, there will be the common complaint that you will get that I am not able to perform closing on time. I'm not able to close my accounts. I'm not able to close all my things at time because there is a lot of integration in place. So till the time everything is not closed, I cannot close my accounts. And in order to close everything, I need to run various reports. I need to run various period end activities, and then only I'll be able to close the system. I'll be able to close the accounts. Now this is the common problem. So why, first of all, why this problem? When SAP is capable of doing all the things, why in terms of reporting, in terms of closing, it is slow? The reason is the current data model. Now what is data model? Data model means whenever you post any transaction, whenever you create any purchase order, whenever you create any good receipt, whenever you generate any sales order, there are multiple tables which are getting affected in the background. Right, so each and every transaction when you are running, at the background there's a possibility that more than 5 or 10 tables are getting updated. So when these tables are getting updated, obviously at that time if somebody is trying to do the reporting also at the same time, it will become slow because transactions are also getting performed and the reports are also getting performed. At the same time, all the standard reports and all the Z reports that you are going to create, the data is not coming from one table. The data is also coming from multiple tables. Because my data is stored in multiple tables, if I want to do the reports, if I want to create a Z report, I need to create a function specs which is asking the data from all these different tables. Now, if the tables are like there are multiple tables which are getting affected, in order to fetch the data from all these different tables is not going to be the simple task because there are a lot of joins required, there are a lot of conditions required, which makes the reporting slower. And that is the reason why every customer complains that my reportings are very slow. When I generate a report, it takes 15 minutes, it takes 20 minutes, depending upon the level of report, how much complicated is the report. So it is also possible that some of the reports is taking more than 1 hour because it is getting the data from multiple tables.
Simple finance. I will give you the link.
Can you mute yourself? Who's that? Okay, so this is the problem. The current data model, because it is storing the data at multiple places, because it is storing the data at multiple tables, the problem is to fetch the information from all these tables will take, definitely it will take time. At the same time, whenever you are performing the transaction, for example, again, let's say there are 10 tables which are getting affected in background. So let's talk in milliseconds also or in seconds also. Till that time, till the time your transactions get updated in the background, that system is locking that particular transaction. So other user, if he is trying to do something on that transaction, he will not be able to do. Because even though from your system, from your user interface point of view, you already created this document, but in the background it still processes and it still locks that transaction, right? So in short, what I mean to say is the amount of time that the system requires to perform the transactions and to perform the reporting is slow. The reason being multiple tables are getting affected. Now, if I come up with the data model in which the multiple tables which are getting affected are removed and there is only one table which will be affected. There is only one table which will be, for example, posted. In that case, even my reporting will also be coming from one table. So this one table is going to be my universal table which is going to give me all the information from all multiple sources. So I don't need to go to different tables to collect some information and to another table for collecting another information. All the information, if it is available at the same place, definitely my reportings will become faster, my transactions will become faster. And that is the whole idea of SAP S/4HANA. Now, question here, like if it is so simple, if one table is capable of holding all the information, then why in ECC they followed the complicated way of doing so? Why they have created multiple tables earlier? Was it not possible earlier also? The answer is it was not possible because the database that the earlier company codes or the ECC use, it is not the HANA database. It is either Oracle or SQL Server or some other database. Although some of the companies have already migrated their database from Oracle to SAP S/4HANA, but that is only the database migration. The data model still remains same. If you are using ECC on HANA, it doesn't mean you are already on SAP S/4HANA. S/4HANA is completely new thing. In S/4HANA, there is no redundancy. In S/4HANA, there are not multiple tables which are getting affected. There is a common table which will be getting affected. So, two things. The first is simplified data model, which means less number of updates to the tables, faster transactions, faster reporting. Second thing, better user interface. So with the use of SAP Fiori as a front-end tool, now user can perform the transactions and the reports by using the very much simplified apps, the apps that you use normally on your mobiles. So no more complicated SAP GUI screens. Okay, although they will be available in the background, it is not completely replaced. If you want to use the background screen, you can use. But at the same time, you are also getting the front-end screen, which is very simple compared to what you use till now. So if you are training to the new user, he will be like, it will definitely, the time that you will be taking to train him will reduce by 1/4. At the same time, there will be lot of less number of chances of errors, right? So these are some of the benefits that SAP Fiori as a user interface is going to provide. The third thing is the deployment options. So currently, if you are running ECC, in that case, 90% of the customers who are not using HANA as a database in ECC, they are running the software on premises, which means they are purchasing the hardware, they are purchasing the licenses, they are purchasing each and everything as the one-time cost. Okay, but SAP HANA or SAP S/4HANA provides you another option of cloud, which means if you don't have that much budget, if you are like considering the, if you don't want to incur one-time cost, what you can do is you can just pay the subscription fees either on the per quarter basis or the yearly basis based upon your terms and conditions. You just pay that much amount as a subscription fees and start using SAP directly. You don't need to purchase any hardware and you don't need to purchase any software. So just pay the subscription fees and start using SAP S/4HANA. Okay, so this is the benefit from the what we can say from the investment point of view. So you are getting all these benefits in SAP S/4HANA. So coming to the demo topics, common problems we discussed. We will talk about the new functionalities. We talked about available deployment options, and then I will show you the adoption options for existing customers. So This course is not going to, it is not only going to talk about how a new customer will implement SAP S/4HANA, but this is also going to cover if existing customer who is already using SAP from last several years, if he wants to migrate to SAP S/4HANA, what are the available adoption options? How the migration from the SAP ERP to SAP S/4HANA will take place. So that is also going to be part of this course. So these three things we discussed: slower reporting because of the traditional databases that we are using, high cost of operations because the screens that you are using are the traditional screens, and that is the reason why you need to incur a lot of time to train the new users, and at the same time there are a lot of chances that they will do errors, and then again to rectify and make the postings again it means the operation cost is going to be increased if you are currently using SAP ERP. So if you go for SAP Fiori, SAP suggests that, or SAP tells that it will reduce the cost of operations because you don't need to incur that much amount on training, and at the same time there are very few chances or very less chances of errors. And finally, high cost of infrastructure. As we discussed, if you are going for cloud, you don't need to incur one-time cost, rather you just pay the subscription fees and start using SAP without paying any one-time investment. Now, what are the things? Again, before I come to this particular thing, let me tell you, so what is the solution available from SAP S/4HANA? Again, I told you earlier also, but let me again tell you. So SAP S/4HANA first of all provides simplified data model, which means some of the tables are removed. See, the target architecture, which means what SAP is going to do in next 2 years, because they are coming up with different versions, and this process is still under development. So already they launched this version. As of now it is 1511 plus SPS 1 and 2, and in the future they are also going to come up with different versions. So the target architecture means the target, which means what they are trying to achieve is to remove all the tables and bring only one table as a common table, MATDOC. We'll talk about that table. But that is the target architecture. In today's scenario, if we talk about 1511, not all the tables are removed, but only few tables are removed. We'll talk about that, which tables are removed, but not all the tables are removed. But in the target architecture, the plan is to remove all the tables and there will be only one table. Okay, talking about operations, we understood SAP Fiori, and talking about infrastructure, we already know what is cloud. So now before we talk about this, let's understand in the graphical way what we are trying to say in terms of simplified data model. So this is my classical business suite and this is my SAP S/4HANA, which means this can be EHP 7 for example. So what is happening here? Whenever you are posting any inventory document, okay, whenever you are posting any stock related transaction in the system, it is not only affecting MKPF and MSIG. Normally we only know these two tables. MKPF and MSIG gets updated whenever you post any transaction. But in the background, you can see there are a lot of tables which are getting affected. So MSTQ, MSTE, MSTB, out of these tables, some tables are related to the quantity update and some tables are related to the value update. I will give you the example. Now let's say you want to generate a report. How much quantity is available at a particular storage location? Okay, so in that case, you will be using any one of this table. So for example, let's say storage location, I think MSTE or TB is a table which holds the quantity update or the quantity availability of a particular storage location. So you can directly go onto this table and you can find it out, okay, this much quantity is available. So what happens in background? Whenever you post any new transaction, let's say the current quantity was 100 units, now you created a gate receipt of 10 units. So what will happen in the background? Obviously MKPF and MSIG will be updated. At the same time, This table will also calculate 100 plus 10 and the quantity availability will automatically become 110. So this is happening in the background for a storage location, for the plant, for the quantity, for the value. So all these different tables are getting affected whenever you are performing any transaction. Okay, similarly material master, you have these two tables and for history you have another tables. So now what is going to happen is instead of this 26 aggregate tables that you are using in your ECC, they are going to replaced with one document table talking about MAT DOC. So this is a document table which will hold the complete information whatever was stored till now in these tables. Now the question is how? So how many fields this material document table will have? It will have many fields compared to these tables. And this is a dynamic table. Dynamic table means the number of fields depends upon the components that you are activating. So for example, if you are activating material ledger, if you are activating some other component, automatically the number of fields will become more or less. Now, the big question, when we are saying all these tables will be removed, okay, and we have created the Z reports already, which are taking the data from these tables. So what will happen to that report? Whether it will be generated or it will throw error that there is no data because data is no more getting updated here and there is no such table called as MCHB, for example. The answer is, although these tables will be removed, but there will be a view created. Now what is the difference between the table and the view? It is a technical term. View is something which doesn't store any data. View is just like a query in the background. So whenever you ask any information from, let's say, MCHB, earlier this MCHB was storing the data in itself. There is a lot of fields available in MCHB, there are a lot of rows available in this table. But now as soon as this table becomes view, it will not store any data. What it will do is whenever you ask any information from MCHB, this will go to MAT DOC and run a particular query. Okay, it will calculate the based on the transactions which are posted in MAT DOC, and to the user it will give the information. So from the, let's say here is a user, he is asking the information from here. So in turn this will transfer the control to MAT DOC, perform the calculation and give it to the user. So from the user perspective, he will not realize what is happening in the background. But definitely there will be less amount of data that will be affected in the table. There is a simplified data model, which means the report, the time in which the user will get the report, it is said it is around 10,000 times more faster. Now it all depends. When they are saying 10,000 times, so there are some prerequisites to that, and there are something like how much RAM should be available and all that such things. But at least I'll not say the number of times, but definitely it is going to be faster compared to what it used to be here. At the same time, whenever you are going to create any new report, instead of calling these tables in your report, you can directly take this MAT DOC and you can generate your reports directly using only one table. Remember, as I told you, this is a target architecture. Some of the tables are already removed, but I am 100% sure MKPF and MSEG are still there. Right? Maybe these tables are removed. They are not removed actually, but they will not be updated for each and every transaction. They will hold some information, basic information, but they will not be updated for each and every transaction. But these tables will remain as it is, MKPF, MSEG and MAT DOC. So instead of saying one document table, let's say 3 document table. But the target architecture is that they want to bring all of them only at one table. Okay, so this is what is called as a simplified data model. Same thing I think explained here. So how the material valuation is going to be done. So in logistics, you have quantity related tables we talked about in the previous slide. You have values tables which are getting affected. And if you are activating material ledger, in that case you have a separate valuation for that. And finally the data is moving to accounting. Okay, but now when we are talking about simplified data model, you can see here in SAP S/4HANA, for quantity update there is only one table. For logistics, again quantity update, there is only MATDOC. If you are using material ledger, there is only one table for material ledger. And finally, for accounting also, in accounting also, when Simple Finance came into picture, all these tables were replaced with these two tables, BKPF and ACDOC. So whatever financials tables will be available, they will be available under ACDOC. Okay. Now talking about what are the different lines of business. LOB is lines of business or modules. What are the different modules supported in SAP S/4HANA? So basically in this training, we are going to concentrate on sales, means SD, what are the changes in SD, sourcing and procurement, which means MM, manufacturing, which means PP, and we are not going to talk about this R&D, asset management services, sustainability. We are going to talk about PS. So basically, we are going to talk about 4 different modules, whatever are the available changes into all these modules, whatever are the available changes in terms of the data model, in terms of the new functionalities, and finally, how are you going to migrate your data to the new architecture. Okay, so yes, this is the course structure. We'll start off with understanding what is SAP S/4HANA 1511, what are the available, what were the available versions before 1511, what is the roadmap of SAP S/4HANA, so where it all got started, where exactly it is today, and what is the future map, so current and the future versions. Also, we'll talk about SAP Fiori. So I'll give you the basic session on SAP Fiori, in which we'll discuss what is SAP Fiori Launchpad, what are the different apps, how they are going to be configured, all that things related to Fiori. Okay, and then what are the master data changes, like the material master field or the material number field has been increased from 18 to 40 characters. So all such facts. So talking about customer and vendor masters, you don't need to create customers and vendor masters separately now. So FD01, XD01, FK01, XK01, 02, 03, all these transactions have become obsolete. So it is mandatory for to create the business partner for each and every customer, and the customer and vendor will be created through business partner only. There is no other option. Okay, so these are some of the changes that we'll see in the master data section. Then we'll talk about one module at a time. So let's say we start off with the procurement. We'll understand what are the different delta changes available in this particular module, and then we'll talk about once we completed one module, we'll talk about second, third, and fourth. And once all are done, then we will be ready for migration scenarios. Then how are we going to migrate the data to the new system? So this is what is going to be in this course. Now I think if we can open the line for questions. If you have any questions, you can ask related to the course, of course.
Yeah, Anil Gogineni, any doubts? Arup,
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So my first question is like, are you just only going to tell us like what are the changes has been made in 1511, or you are going to actually showing it into the system and running some end-to-end scenarios or something?
Now see, some of the scenarios, if they are changed, then we are going to see in the system. But let's say if, let's talk about purchase order scenario. So you create a purchase requisition, you create a purchase order. If there is no change in that scenario, there is no point in talking about the complete scenario. So what we can do, for example, in purchase order management, let's say the change is that you can now, there is a better output management, which is in the Adobe document server. So we'll not see the complete procure to pay in terms of whatever is not changed. We'll see only in terms of delta changes.
No, my question is like, are you going to show like how the so there are numerous changes has been made in 1511, right? So
Mm-hmm.
are you going to show like how to use BRA plus? Are you going to show how
Yes.
to configure the output fully so that it can make a call to the Adobe documents? Because there are a lot of stuff you have to do, right, to call the Adobe's docs in the output, right?
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. So when I'm saying that output management is changed, so complete output management will be explained. Like it will be configured in front of you, and the results will be seen. But let's say in terms of purchase order, if there is no change in the purchase order, there is no point explaining you how to
No,
create a
that's
purchase order.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And are you going to so when you are talking about this sales process, right? Are you going to also tell about the credit management because there is a drastic change in the credit management as well? Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
Yes,
just
I was.
wondering, like, are you going to show about the credit management as well because there is a drastic change in that, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's what I was saying. See, when you talk about credit management, normally credit management comes under FSCM. Earlier it was under FIAR and SD, but now it is part of FSCM. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
interested, I can show, that is not a problem. But I don't know how many of you, because you are coming from the logistics background, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think you are going to be configuring the FSCM part. It is not going to be your responsibility, right? But at the same
No, but
time,
still there are some nodes are there for HD.
yes, for SD point of view, whatever is there, we'll cover.
Yeah. So, and at least like if we are not going to configure, but we should know the end-to-end structure, right? If we, so earlier
Yes, yes,
also in SD credit management, there were few configuration in the FI node, right? But still
yes.
we had the knowledge of it. So I think all of us who are from the SD background, so they would be more interested to know the end-to-end so that they have the picture, right? Maybe they will
Yes.
not get the access to do the configuration in the FI node in the real time, but at least they should know end-to-end, right?
Yes, 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 I got it. So credit management, as you said, it will be covered in the complete scenario, like how not maybe we'll not focus more on the configuration. I'll directly show you the configuration, how it is maintained, but here we are not going to do this in the server. Okay, but at the same time you will be getting the fair amount of idea how exactly credit management will work and how exactly the integration will cover in too much of detail. So whenever we are saying FSCM is part of, let's say credit management is part of FSCM, but wherever there is SD link, wherever there is integration between SD and FSCM, that particular part will cover in detail.
Oh, means you were saying like you will not be showing end-to-end in the system, but you will be just telling the configuration points, right?
No, no, no. See, I'll be saying again. Let me clarify. See, credit management is something in the FSCM which is not configured for the company code level. There are a lot of settings that are configured at the client level, right? So all these
Mhm.
configurations are already in place because we are using this server as of now, right?
Yeah.
So we will not be able to configure in front of you. I can show you, okay, these are the things which are already configured, but we
No, that's
cannot
fine.
configure. Yes. So wherever there is a integration, wherever we know that, okay, now for this sales organization, for this particular company code, we need to extend the configuration, that particular point we will cover. But we'll not
Mhm.
start from the beginning because these configurations are already in place in the server.
Okay, my last question is like, are you going to cover topics like intercompany and revenue account recognition, this kind of, because these are big challenges currently for S4 HANA platform.
Now see, when you are talking about revenue recognition, change in terms of the component that will be used, right? So that component I'll explain, but again, see, normally this revenue recognition and all this requires the complete configuration from that particular component itself, right?
Yes, yes. That's
So
fine.
wherever possible, yeah, wherever possible we'll cover. But again, see, in the topic list, it is definitely going to be there. But how much configuration we'll be able to do as a SD consultant, that much we'll do.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. My first question will be, during this course, will you show us how to, when a client wants to implement S4HANA Simple Logistics or S4HANA Enterprise Suite as whole, how do they implement it as a fresh implementation, and also for people who are already using ECC and want to migrate to S4HANA, how they will migrate? I mean, what are the touch points that we need to be considering and how to go about it? I mean, will you show us this both these things?
Yes, but again, see, when we are talking about the greenfield implementation, the first thing that you talk about is the
Hmm.
greenfield implementation. Now, when we are
Exactly.
talking about greenfield, definitely we are going to start off with the first thing itself. So we are going to actually configure the enterprise structure. We are going to configure the master data. We are going to do the transaction data also. But wherever possible, we will not do the transactions which are same as ECC. We'll only talk about the
Yes.
transactions which are changed, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, similarly configuration also we will do one time, right? Because when we talk about the basic configuration of MM and SD, that is not very huge configuration. So we will do that first. We will do that for our company code. But then transactions, as I told you, it will be only the delta changes which are happening. That only we will see. Maybe in Fiori app we will see one or two transactions, like how the complete scenario works in Fiori. But again, do not expect that in the Fiori also everything will be for each and every transaction, because otherwise you will feel bored. Like same transactions, only the new screen is showing, right? So this has happened in my first slide.
Right.
That's why
Right.
I'm showing you the experience. So we'll not cover the entire what we can say, the transactions. We'll cover only the transactions where there is a delta change.
Okay. Okay. And these changes that you said, that wherever there are delta changes, these changes will cover all the possible scenarios across SD, MM, PS, and PP, right?
Yes, four scenario, four different modes.
For different modules. Okay. Number two is, this is probably I'm asking before time. In Fiori app, I have done a bit of Fiori. So in Fiori app, I know how it looks like and all. So will you discuss that if we want to change how the app will look, if we want to add a couple of new fields, if we want to remove or hide something, if we want to add some Z fields. Okay, so how we'll do it and how we will update the table from the app itself? Will you discuss those points as well?
No, the reason being, this is not simple logistics. This is not the functional task. This is actually the technical task of SAP Fiori consultant.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, so we are not understanding SAP Fiori here. We are learning SAP Simple Logistics. So I'll show you what is SAP Fiori Launchpad. Depending upon your role, which apps will be displayed to you. If you want to add a new app for your SAP Fiori Launchpad, how to bring that, how to create your own groups, how to personalize your Fiori Launchpad. These are some of the topics which we'll understand in Fiori. But when you are talking about technical, see, even in ECC, if I tell you to add the two Z fields, that you are not going to do as a functional consultant. You are going to ask the technical person to add that field. Your responsibility
Absolutely.
will be to create the functional specs. So
Yeah, yeah,
here
yeah.
also the
And
same thing applies.
I think I have put my question in a bit wrong. What I wanted to ask is, adding two fields is obviously there is some technical code that will go into it and all those stuff, but at least you can tell us that if I have to add these two fields, what are the probably the exits, screen exits or whatever, because in ECC in transactions we have exits and all, and we know which table and which field where we have to add what data and all those things. So probably you can just touch base that, okay, if I have to do this, this is the tables or this, or we can add here, or these are the exits that we can use or something like that. I don't know if in Fury probably you don't have exits like that.
Yes, yes, yes. So you see exits and all tables, they are the same tables that you are using in ECC. SAP Fiori is just the front end screen. The back end is going to be same as it is in ECC.
Okay.
Fiori is not
Okay.
something else. Fiori is just the front-end screen of the same screen that you are getting in the GUI. Only thing is, it
Okay.
is simplified in terms of the looks. Okay, but the fields and
Okay.
all, whatever you'll update here, it will automatically go into the backend system and it will be stored in the same table where ECC was storing, or the
Okay. So
SAP S4.
basically,
I'll not say,
yeah. Yeah,
I'll
so
not say
basically if I
ECC
add
because
one field in my GUI, in my ECC, then it will automatically update in Fiori app as well.
not necessarily, because Fiori is having its own code. Okay, so for
Ah,
example, let's say in GUI there are 100 fields and you want to simplify your Fiori screen, you want only 20 fields available in the Fiori. So your Fiori consultant, you have to say, okay, bring 20 fields out of this particular transaction from SAP backend system, right? So
okay, okay.
whenever you are
Yes.
adding there, you need to ask or you need to append this also into the SAP Fiori.
Okay, okay, okay. Perfect. Probably I being a SD consultant, that is probably my questions related to MMPS and PP. I have very little idea, so probably we can discuss that during the course.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, this is Sai. It's good that you have covered most of the topics, but again, there are a couple of questions from my end. Most of the people try to put their questions, which I have already in my mind, but when it comes to an integration point, you said we are not here to do the finance stuff for revenue recognition. I agree with that, what you said, but however, when you go for any core SAP SD module training or MM module training, generally what they would try to cover is where are the integration points and how then integration should be done. So now if a
Mm-hmm.
customer is going for a HANA, definitely he will not only say that I will go for simple logistics, right? I mean, now
Mm-hmm.
it's SAP HANA Enterprise, what you said. So obviously when we learn only for logistics point of view, we should also knowing, right, how it will be integrated with finance, HANA logistics and HANA finance.
Mm-hmm. No,
So are
see,
you going to
again,
cover?
yes, yes. See, when you are talking about integration, so as I told you, most of the integrations are going to be same. And there are some changes like he asked about credit management. So credit management was earlier handled through FISD and AR, but now it has moved to FSCM. So that is something delta. That is going to be covered. But if let's say you are talking about VKOS settings, which was already available in the earlier version, so there is no point discussing that settings, right?
Right, right.
So whatever is the delta, that will be covered.
Okay. So you are going to run certain reports to show us how it will look like or how a user will be seeing that when they run the report in their life in the real life scenarios.
Yes, yes, yes. Our plan will be that to show you whatever is the difference. But again, I'm right here. Some of the this is the version which we are using 1511. It is even the when SAP has launched this version, there were a lot of issues in this version. So some of the things I am still struggling to find it out the solution in the version that we are using for the training server. So in that case, I will provide you the complete information how it works, but it is possible that maybe 20% of the scenarios we are not able to run in the system. So you need to be prepared for that. So just to give you the heads up at this point of time. So it is possible because even SAP when they came up with this 1511, there are a lot of problems. I'll not say problems, but the dumps and all because the complete, I can say it is not completely restructured. There are some issues which will come and then SAP will provide the notes and like that. So currently the version which is being used, it is SPS2 or something. And we are also trying to bring that version into place. So once that version will be in place, I think most of the scenarios will be running. But at least now, what server we are using, 80% of the scenarios are running quite comfortably.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks for the clarification. Yeah. And then yeah, the more stress point will be like on the migration points, right? From when the customer would like to go for HANA and where they are
Yes.
using already ECC, how it is
Yes.
going to be migrated and what are the points we need to, what are the checklist we should have. So all those
Yes.
things we will be covering, right?
Yes. 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 Let me talk about migration now. So Migration is something, as you said, if the customer is already using SAP ERP and then they want to migrate to SAP S/4HANA. So what are the available deployment options? What are the different scenarios from here he can migrate? So SAP already provided the migration cockpit for the financial data. Okay, so for finance they already provided the migration cockpit, which means the data which was available in the old system, how it will be migrated to the new system. Talking about the different modules, like from the logistics point of view, some of the things are available as a migration. So for example, credit management, it is already available. The migration cockpit is already available, which we can use for migration of credit management. Similarly, material ledger data. Material ledger data, I'll talk about material ledger. Material ledger is being made as mandatory in 1511. That's why we are talking about material ledger. So how are you going to migrate the material ledger data? That is again the migration cockpit is available. But in some of the cases, the migration cockpit is still not available, which means there are some manual activities that you have to do as a part of a migration project. So all that activities will also be will be covered. At the same time, whatever migration cockpits are available, they will be also used. So when we'll start off with the migration, we'll understand the SAP Activate methodology. This is a new methodology which is replacing SAP methodology which we are using till now. So SAP S/4HANA follows Activate methodology irrespective of whether you are using the cloud version or you are using the on-premise version. Okay, and this Activate methodology has the separate set of standard what we can say, it is the standard notes are given to how to perform the migration. So all that things will be covered during the migration process. Okay,
And
so this is
if I
yes.
I think we crossed. Yeah, just last question from my end. Then then somebody can take it up. If I want to do a certification on this, are there any certification materials or certification course available from SAP?
No, as of now for logistics it is not available. For finance it was already available from last 4 months now. But logistics we are expecting the certification will be available uh, I think at least 2 or 3 months from now. And also we are not sure whether they are going to come up with the common certification for the changes or they are going to come up with module wise. So I think they will go for module wise. So they will come up with procure to pay as a process and order to cash as a process. But there is no clarity as of now.
Yeah, I do have like two questions. One is, right now we are having the ECC and HANA right now, but what is the difference between the regular HANA database to S4 HANA database? So
See, S4
how
HANA is not a, yes, S4 HANA is not a database. HANA is a database. What you are doing currently is you are running ECC and your database is HANA. And now when you are talking about SAP S/4HANA, this means you are replacing your ECC with SAP S/4HANA while your database is still SAP HANA. Okay, so you are replacing ECC to S/4HANA. In ECC, there are a lot of tables which are getting affected. In SAP S/4HANA, the simplification has been made, which means the table will be common, the database will be common, SAP HANA database, but you will not be using ECC going forward. You will be using the new SAP Business Suite called as SAP S/4HANA.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
and this SAP S/4HANA works only on HANA database. So earlier ECC, there was a possibility that you can use either HANA database or Oracle or SQL Server. But if you want to go for SAP S/4HANA, HANA is a prerequisite.
Okay, nice. And also like we can log in the same GUI screen like a little bit like a modification, or it will be complete like a different screen.
No, see, most of the screens will be similar. Okay, let me just show you the screen once. You will get the fair amount of idea.
Like we do have Pro also in this, right? Yeah.
Yes. I'll show you.
Okay, nice. And also through Fiori app, we can be able to do the configuration.
Configuration through Fiori apps it is still not supported in the on-premise edition. Small bit of configuration is supported in on-cloud edition.
Cloud. Okay.
Yes. So guided configuration is a app which you can use to perform the configuration using your SAP Fiori screen, but that is only available in the cloud version.
If we choose the cloud version, we can still like use like NetWeaver through NetWeaver, like we can call regular GUI screen, correct?
Sorry, just a minute. I'm just sharing this.
Oh,
I'm facing some problem to share my SAP screen. Okay. Tell me once you are able to see the SAP screen.
yeah, we are.
Okay. Yes, you were asking something. Sorry.
No. So if we have the cloud version here, so how we can do the regular configuration through NetWeaver?
No, you can do through SPR also. That is not a problem. But the only thing is, in the cloud version, all the industries are not supported and all the processes are not supported. And normally the configuration, the amount of configuration that is under your control as a customer is very limited. Because you kept it on cloud, so it is like the minimum amount of configuration that you can do, and also the processes are very limited. When you compare on-premise contains all the functionalities, and on cloud it is just the subset of on-premise.
Okay. Standard SAP only. If we wanted to do some customization process like scenarios, we need
Possible.
still on-premise.
Yes, possible, but yes, it is possible in cloud also, but very limited.
Okay.
Because as a customer, you will not have that much access because it is not in your premises. It is handled by some third party, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a SAP server. So let me just close this if you want. I just want to show you how it looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the normal screen that we normally use. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so this is a very normal screen. Only thing is whatever there are changes. For example, let's say if I go for FD01, which is my creation of customer master, or let's say XD01. So you'll find all these changes available in the backend system also. Okay, so you will get this message. So what it is saying is transaction XD01 is obsolete and you need to use business partner. You need to create a business partner and you cannot use this XD01, 2, 3, all are not supported. So what I mean to say is you have the backend system which is updated with the latest transactions. For example, if you go to SPRO also, you will find some changes. So for example, as I told you, the migration cockpit is available, but this is normally available for accounting as of now. But some of the components which we are going to use in our logistics like credit management and material ledger, so this is also included in this cockpit. Okay, apart from this cockpit, some of the activities needs to be done separately, which will not be, they are not available in the migration. But again, as I told you, this is the product under process. So every now and then, every 2 months, they come up with the new product. New product means the new enhancements, like for example, yes. So yes. So yeah, this is the SPRO screen that you can see. Apart from this, you'll also be getting the SAP Fiori logon. Okay, so you can decide whether you want to use the backend system and or you want to use the front-end system. Normally for the end users, you will provide them the front-end system because the amount of transactions that they will be using, they will be very limited based on the role. But when you talk about configuration point of view, I think we will be still using the back-end system for performing the configuration.
Okay.
So once you log on into the SAP Fiori screen, this is called as a SAP Fiori Launchpad, where you can see all the different apps for which you are eligible. So let's say you are a purchase manager. In that case, you will be able to see only the apps which are related to the purchasing. You
Yeah.
can see here, these are the groups. So you can configure, you can personalize your screen. If you don't want to use this particular app, you can delete. If you want to bring some other app for which you are authorized, obviously. If you are not authorized for a particular app, you cannot add your on your screen. But if you are authorized, you can bring it anywhere you want into your Launchpad screen. Okay, so yes, so this is like procure to pay. So these are
Yeah.
the apps which will be used when you perform the procure to pay. And this same way, create purchase order still available is in the ECC or sorry, in the backend system ME21N. So either
Yeah.
you use that transaction or you come with through this SAP Fiori screen. It is up to you.
Okay. Here, like, can you show one icon? So like, can I click
Yes. Yes.
purchase
For
order?
example, let's create purchase order.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So it will open the another screen.
Yeah. Okay.
See, as I told you, we say it is faster, but it all depends upon how much RAM is available in your system,
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously.
right?
Yeah.
So
No.
this is the screen that you are able to see for creation of
Yeah.
purchase order.
Okay.
These apps are also like even the creation of purchase order, there are different versions which are coming. So for example, this is a basic version which is exactly same that you see in the backend system.
Yeah.
But
In
if you, let's
SAP.
say if you
Yeah.
want to see some different fields directly available in this, so there are different apps which are coming
Yeah.
in each and every version.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Okay. Nice. Okay. Excellent, Gaurav.
Okay.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah,
I
hi.
have a question. So how many, is there any exercise will be given as part of the course, and also what about the system access?
Again, this is a administration question. How much time the system access will be given, that I don't know, but definitely the system will be given. Okay, and at the same time, the exercise, it all depends upon you because I'll not pressurize on you that you perform these configurations. It is up to you based upon your timings you will be doing this practice, right? So, but anyways, whenever you are doing any practice and if you have any doubts, you can directly, I'll provide you the email ID on which you can send me the screenshots of the errors and I'll try to resolve that errors during the weekdays also.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hi Gaurav, this is Venkat.
Yeah.
I have, I think most of the questions asked by our, colleagues. So I have only one question, like, regarding the course content, rather than, saying module wise, do you have any, further, which module, what is covered?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bit detail.
Maybe yes. So if you want, we can I can send you that details.
Okay, because that will be good. At least we can understand, what is covered at least.
Yes. I'll do that.
Okay, that is fine.
Yeah, hi Gaurav. This is again Krishna. Just I have one question. Like you have just shown us the system, right, where it has migration cockpit for F5.
Mm-hmm.
So in there, though in this Pro, we need to do anything more from logistics point of view to in order to get the HANA features?
Yes. See, I just shown you the migration cockpit, and as I told you, this is only applicable for accounting and basically for credit management and material ledger. What about the other changes? So all that things you have to perform through the normal SPRO. Like the new things are also available in SPRO. It is not only migration which is new. There are some new configuration screens also available in the SPRO.
Yeah, that's all from my end, Gaurav.
Okay.
Yeah, Ratna Kannan, any doubts?
Yeah. I'm proceeding now. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you
Voice is
speak
very
loudly?
low.
Was it not clear?
Yeah, can you speak loudly?
Hello, is it okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know what is the percentage of deviation in SD and MO module when compared to ECC with S4HANA?
Percentage of deviation.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the processes, or are you going to talk? Are you talking about the configurations and all?
No, of course, if you're speaking about the processes, then we have to
Okay, I think if you talk in the percentage terms, it is around 25% in each module.
all right. Okay. That's a big number, isn't it? All right.
Hello.
And how about the S4HANA? Is it mandatory to use S4? I mean, the Fiori in S4HANA? Is it mandatory to use Fiori? Is Fiori mandatory in S4HANA?
Fiori is not mandatory in S/4HANA, but for Fiori, the customer is not paying anything extra. So whenever he is purchasing SAP S/4HANA licenses, SAP Fiori comes up in the bundle. So normally, if he is getting it for free, and I think definitely he will go for it because the users will enjoy that. So I have not seen any scenario in which the customer is buying SAP S/4HANA and then he's not implementing SAP Fiori. Maybe he can take the decision, okay, SAP Fiori apps will be implemented later on. First we go ahead with the processes, but same time Fiori is not mandatory, but it is coming up as a free under the bundle. So most customers will be using it. Also, I want to specify one more thing here. SAP has made it clear that it is possible that in the future versions or in the future whatever will be the developments, whatever will be the functionalities coming, it is possible that that particular new screens are not available in the backend system because SAP is more concentrating on front-end screen rather than the backend system. So if you are not implementing SAP Fiori, it is possible that some of the functionalities which are going to come in future you will not be able to use in the backend system.
Yeah, Hari Yadav, any doubts?
Yeah, so regarding the system access, so like we have to buy it from AWS cloud version, or you will provide something.
No. You maybe you can discuss this with the coordinator because what I think it is you don't have to pay anything to the cloud server because you are using on-premise edition, and I think
So this will be on-premise edition, right?
yes. This is on-premise edition.
So since it is on-premise, and what one of the candidate was asking about the practice part. So any case study you are going to provide?
See, case study, as I told you, whatever are the changes, I'll be telling you during the session, and it all depends. See, when we are, let's say, more than 10 to 12 guys who are in this class, so everybody will be having his own scenario which is in his mind. So you can always go back to the system, configure your own company code, configure your own scenario, and whenever you are getting stuck, I'm there. So it is not going to be the case because otherwise there will be a lot of cases. We'll be discussing all the case studies. Instead of that, I'll tell you what is available as a new, and based upon your scenario you can configure that.
So like being from a material background, earlier in ECC we have to activate material ledger separately. So now material ledger is a mandatory part of S4HANA ITSM.
Yes.
So that part, like suppose if I have to implement, so that part you will be showing, or you have to do it
Yes.
outside?
That will be shown. Yes.
Okay. So any documents you are going to provide?
Yes. So documentations also whenever even the PPT. So for example, when I'm sharing any PPT, it will give you the theoretical inputs, and at the same time the configuration document, whatever we are going to do on a particular day, I'll also going to be sharing the PDF file which will tell you about the configuration so that you can use in the future.
Another thing, like so all the modules you will be showing or some like it will be shared among different trainer,
No, no, no. I'll be showing everything.
starting from finance to your
Finance is not included in this. It is
only the logistic
MMSD.
like
Yes, yes, yes.
SDMM.
MMSD.
Okay.
PS, sorry.
So EWM you are not going to cover.
No, there are a lot of other modules, and I think there are only 2 to 5% changes. So that is, I don't think that is of everybody's interest. So that is the reason we kept it the 4 modules which are, I think PS is also something which is not many of us use, but at the same time at least 4 modules should be covered in this course. So
okay, thanks.
Yeah. Like, do we have any SEM modules also available in S4HANA, like PPDS, SNPDP, those SEM system models, APO models?
no, see, SAP, as I told you, the target in the target architecture, they want to bring all of them on a common platform, that is SAP S/4HANA. But as of today, even CRM, SRM, they are all planned that everything will come on SAP S/4HANA. But as of today, it is in at least in the 1511, it is not available. The reason being, in 1511, it is only the ECC which is simplified. So maybe in the future you will find APO, SRM, CRM, all these different modules, they will be coming, but that will take time. That will take at least 1 year of time.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about the CRM. So for the S4HANA perspective, that like C4C and all is not part of S4HANA, or is that correct understanding?
C4C, what is the C4C?
C4C is like for the cloud for customer, right? So for the CRM, the SAP came up with the C4C and the similar Fiori screens. So I was thinking that it is part of S4HANA, like it will fetch it, but what I understand is it requires a separate later integration with S4HANA, or will it go separately as it goes now, SAP CRM?
Yes, till now CRM, SRM, they are completely different, but the plan is to bring everything together. So as of 1511, as I told you, it is the basic data model, the SAP Fiori screens for whatever functionalities are available in ECC, and that is the reason we are talking about MMSD, PP and PS. We are not talking about CRM, SRM. That is the whole reason, because even PLM, there are a lot of different modules, Ariba, then you have Hybris. These are all new dimensional modules which are available as a part of separate component on SAP, but the plan is to bring everything together. But as of now, they are still independent. It means the integration is required and the separate installation is required for these components.
Yeah, no, actually I was asking on C4C, which is a part of HANA and it runs based on HANA. So my question was whether it is integrated with S4 HANA. So
No, see,
okay.
these are two different things. If it is available on SAP HANA, is it available on the ECC also? So when you are running ECC on SAP HANA, does this C4C comes?
No, C4C is a next version of SAP CRM. Okay, so
Exactly.
it is.
So, yes. So in that case, it is still separate. It is still not merged within the SAP S4 HANA.
Okay. My second question is that the PS thing, what we are talking about, let's say the PP transaction we are doing or process we are doing. So maybe as if now we might not be aware of that process. So during the course, when we will be talking about the delta, will we go over that the process which will help us to understand better the changes on that PS part, right?
Yes, see, whenever I'm going to talk about any changes, I'm definitely going to talk about how it was happening earlier. Okay, so let's
Okay.
say you are saying that PS is something new to you. So whenever I'm saying, okay, there is something new functionality is available in PS. So at the same time, I'll be talking about how it was handled till now and how it is changed in terms of simple logistics.
Okay. Okay. Now next little different question. So I'm not sure whether SAP has implemented simple logistics anywhere as of now, or is still developing products. So
No, no, it is already launched for the customers to purchase, and there are the companies who are already considering this product. They are already running their POCs. But as of now, implementation, you cannot say everything is implemented because it will take time, right? So already companies have started looking after the solutions. They are working on the POCs, but as of now, nobody has completely implemented this product because it is
No,
only 3 months old product.
no, no, Gaurav, actually there are a couple of companies who has already implemented the cloud version and it's already been
Implemented
live.
or they are implementing?
Implemented cloud version,
Okay.
not the on-premise. On-premise is going on, but cloud version is already implemented.
So see, see again, if you are talking about on cloud, as I told you, it is only the subset of on-premise. So which means even they implemented on cloud, this is the rapid deployment solution. That's why they implemented within some time limit. But if they want to bring their own processes into the, for example, when we talk about cloud, it includes the base business practices. But then this base business practices need some configuration changes, some process changes to suit your business requirements. So that complete thing will complete the project, right? In this case, the project is still going on. Make sense? Hello?
Yeah, Anil Gogineni, you can ask.
Yeah, Gaurav. Gaurav, like we are interested to join the course. So when is the first class?
No, see that is administration question. So you can
Okay.
ask.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, any other questions?
Gaurav, I
Yeah.
hope the recording sessions will be provided, right?
Yes, yes, yes. For each and every session, you will be getting the recordings. You will be getting the PPTs. You will be getting the PDF files. These are some deliverables that you'll be getting out of this course.
hello, able to hear me?
Yeah.
Regarding the question which I was trying to ask earlier is like the supply chain, right? Supply chain logistic, what the SAP is doing. Will it be part of our this training, simple logistic, or is it something third new thing coming up from SAP for supply chain?
No, see, when you are talking about supply chain, it is not a separate module. It is supply chain means the simplified supply chain. So it includes, what is supply chain? Supply chain, I think it is MMSD, the production planning. This all includes the supply chain, right? There is no separate component. Is there any separate module even in ECC also for supply chain?
I think no, but the total part is from the LE perspective. So I think LE is supposed to be part of S4 HANA.
Again, this LE and all, they are still not part of SAP S/4HANA. They are supposed to be, but as of today, they are not part of SAP S/4HANA.
Oh, okay. So that's okay.
Any other questions? Yes, Dinesh, I can see your chat box, but Krishna, can you unmute Dinesh?
Yeah, Dinesh. Yeah, please talk. Okay.
In the meantime, somebody asked WMS is the part of SAP S/4HANA. Yes, there are some functionalities of extended WMS, not the normal WMS. Normal WMS is not going to be supported. It is going to be as it was earlier. Extended WMS is there is something which is changed, but as I told you, in that sense there are a lot of different modules which have around 5 to 10% of changes. So we are not going to talk about that. We are going to talk about only these 4 modules.
Yeah, Kishore Kata. Yeah, please talk to China.
Admins, can you guys talk about the system access and the price, that kind of stuff?
That as I told you, you have to ask separately. After this meeting, maybe Krishna will get in contact with you, and he will be telling you all these things.
Yeah, Kishore, after the class I will talk to you. Yeah, Dinesh, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I think yes.
Yeah, one question I had, that the traditional modules like SD, MM, and they will be with simple logistics and simple finance. They will be phased out, or will there be still be distinction between the MM and SD?
No, I'm not able to get your question.
See, now as of now, there is something kind of procurement MM, which is an SD sales. So with this going forward, simple finance and simple logistics, will the MM and SD be combined together?
No. It is still same. So if you see in the server also, here also the same thing you will be following. Material ledger, sales and distribution, everything is same. Only wherever there are changes, wherever are the delta changes. So in all these different modules, you will be seeing the changes. But it is not much. They are completely different modules as of today also.
Okay, there's one more, like there's a say TM, transportation module management coming up. So will that be also the part of add-on, or how will be that?
Transport management, I think some of the part, like not the complete transport management is part of SAP S/4HANA, but some of the part is already available in the first version 1511.
Okay, so there'll be still be add-on called TM.
I'm also not sure about TM.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Krishna, can we close now?
Sir, you can close, sir.
Okay. Okay, then whatever doubts you have, you can directly contact Krishna or the coordinators, and they will be able to solve your doubts now. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.